I don't want to sound like this while I'm doing my reactions, like, oh yay Gabriel, he sounded so great when he did that. So if you've been watching my like health update videos or whatever, you know that I've had some problems since like May. I might do a whole other video where I talk about this from beginning to end, because right now I think there's like 3 or 4 videos of me talking about all of this. But I will try to make those videos pop up over here and like make a playlist of all of that. So you can go and refresh yourself, because I might have to refresh myself too. Basically, this all started with a big bad migraine. I've had 2 or 3 CTs. I've had an MRI and showed that I had a deviated septum and a pretty gnarly sinus infection. I saw an ENT who decided that I did not have meningitis like the neurologist was suspecting of. But that he suggested that I have this thing called the balloon sinuplasty procedure done, which I had done today. That's why I look a little puffy and I look a little funny. And why I sound a little funny, because, let me tell you, it was an adventure. First of all, I had to take some medications before I got there to, mellow me out and make me not give a rat's ass about anything. And lorazepam and alprazolam are 2 different drugs, but they are used for the same thing and can have similar reactions. So I like to run on the side of caution, and because I've taken Xanax before, I used to have a prescription for it like 10 years ago. I had the my prescription was for the 0.25 milligram, and I could take it up to 3 times a day, which is a lot for me. I could take half of one and be completely zonked out and passed out in bed within an hour. So I was a little concerned when I had a prescription for lorazepam or Ativan for the 2 milligrams, thinking, wow, I'm gonna be incapacitated. I wanted to take half, and then like when I got there, take the other half if I wasn't feeling it. But Aaron was like, why don't you take it earlier than you're supposed to, and then you can sort of feel if you're feeling it or not, and then if you're not, then take the other half. I was like, all right, so that's what I did. So I took one half at 9, took the other half at 9:30, took the Zofran along with that. And it took the edge off, I guess, but I didn't feel like a zombie or really mellowed out or anything like that. So we get to the clinic, we get to his office, and he sprays some Afrin up my nose, I guess to start clearing the airways. And he starts the numbing process, which was a whole thing all in itself. So the first side, this side, wasn't so bad. He took this metal rod hook thing with some gauze, and the gauze had some numbing agent on it, and he shoved it up my nose, pulled the rod out, left the stuff up there, and then he's like, okay, this next side you're not gonna like me. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm just bracing for impact. I could feel him digging around, going all over the place because my septum is so jacked up. I'll try to put a photo right here. This is what my nose looked like from my MRI. It's not supposed to look like that. It looks like someone kicked me in the face with their shoe, like over here, and just like jacked up my nose. So he starts shoving it up there, and it hurt like the devil. And I don't cuss that much. I don't cuss on my channel. But I went, son of a bitch, because it hurt so bad. And then he left the gauze up there. He's like, okay, I'll come and check on you in a little bit. And he came back after about, 5 minutes or so and pulled it out. And my husband said when he pulled the stuff out from this side, there was this huge blood clot that he pulled out. And then he did some other stuff. He put some more gauze up with more medications up there. Then I started to not be able to feel my teeth and my gums, which is a good sign, means the stuff's working. And then he had to do some injections, like, I don't know, it wasn't Novocaine, but it was like Novocaine, where they kind of just poke you in the spots where they're going to be. And that stuff started to drip down the back of my throat, and it got down my throat, so my throat got numbed. And I'm trying to cough because I have spit, but I can't swallow. and I'm all trying to spit and cough it up. And he got me like a barf bag for me to spit into. And then he's over on this side and he's poking around. And I'm trying to like hold all the stuff like that's coming down my throat. I'm trying to hold it in my tongue. And then my dumb ass decided to try to ask him a question. And then all that medication that was just sitting on my tongue just started to go down my throat. And I was like, oh my God. So he was done with that. And I was having a fit. I was having a coughing fit, getting all that stuff out. It was awful. It was awful. So then the actual procedure happens. He starts poking. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? Can you feel that? And I'm like, no, I don't feel any of that. He's like, great. And he said, okay, I need a 6. I don't know what that means. He's talking to the nurse or whatever. He's like, I need a 6. And she goes, okay, you're at a 6. He goes, okay, 3, 2, 1. And I didn't feel it, but I heard cracking. And then he goes, okay, now I need a 12. Again, I don't know what that means. So she goes, okay, you're at a 12. And I hear the popping, but there was like 2 parts of my bone that popped and hit inside my nose, and they hit a nerve in my nose, and like I involuntarily start crying because it hurts so bad. Then he moves over to this side, does the same thing. I hear the popping. I don't feel it, but I hear it, and it was a lot of pops. It was a lot of pops. And then he gets me situated and gives me like a crap ton of, you know, Kleenexes because my nose is just bleeding. I haven't seen my face at this point, and I didn't take a picture of my face with all this blood because my nose bled for like, it felt like 2 hours or so, just constant bleeding. And I can't blow my nose, so that's been really hard. And I can breathe through my nose just fine, see? But it sounds all gunky because I have stuff still stuck up there, so I can't blow that out. I can't, you know, I can't sniff too hard, but it's like something that I'm trying to something that I'm not supposed to do. I keep trying to do because I know something's up there and it needs to come out. And then all the drainage from my throat being numb and I couldn't swallow, there's a bunch of blood that drained down. And so I'm coughing up a bunch of blood from my nose, and they're coming up in clots. Sorry, I had a coughing fit. But starting tonight, I am supposed to use like this neti pot type thing. Sinus rinse. I'll fill this up with some what is it called? Some like sterilized water. And then they have these little packets that come with them. I think it's just salt. I'll run that on each side, and hopefully whatever is stuck in my nose will just flush out. Because I'm not going to be able to sleep with this stuff in my nose. And so I sound sick because my throat hurts because it was numbed and I was having these coughing fits. And then also in his the little thing they have you sign of all the things that can go wrong. Some of the side effects are that my voice can change. So my voice might change. And I told him, you know, hey, I'm a hobbyist at this. I like to sing. I didn't tell him about my YouTube channel because I didn't think he'd care. But I told him, you know, I like to sing. And I've noticed over these last, 2-3 years, getting these chronic sinus infections and stuff, it's really hard for me to sing. And I've lost a lot of my range. Do you think this will fix it? And he said it's possible. So 2 things might happen. I might get my range back, which would be super because it was 4 octaves at one point, and my voice might change in general. He said that it'll take probably a few weeks for everything to sort of like, fall into place and everything's healed and everything. I'm hoping to get back to filming reactions before then, but who knows? If I sound like this, if I sound nasally and just meh, I probably won't want to make any reactions, but I'm just kind of just saying hi. Had my procedure. I didn't die, but it hurt like the devil. Yeah, that's where I am right now. I came home, and my mom had come to stay with the girls while Aaron and I went up to the clinic, and he brought me home, and I didn't want the girls to see me with all this blood coming out of my nose and stuff because it looked really bad. I looked like I had gotten into a fight. My face felt like I had gotten into a fight. Like, all of here, well, it felt so sore. And it felt like someone had been kicking me in the face. So he got me some wipes and he cleaned my face up because I couldn't really, my nose felt really big. It wasn't, it's just that I couldn't feel it. And I couldn't, you know, do certain things with my nose to clean it. So my husband cleaned my nose. And then we went inside. And I tried to drink a little bit of water. He told my husband that I shouldn't eat or drink anything for 3 hours. And I really wanted to take some pain pills because I was hurting. Like, all those, the after pains. So, like, I was fine in the clinic. I was fine after everything and all the pops and everything. But it was like those, it was like the aftershock, I guess, of it. I just felt, it hurt. It hurt. I did not feel very good afterwards. So I really wanted to take some of my pain medication. And so I drank a little bit of water, like I sipped it a little bit to make sure I wasn't going to choke on it. And then I think I took just one pill. And then I went and laid down and I had a box of Kleenex and an empty trash can. And then Aaron turned Frasier on for me and I just laid down and then I fell asleep. And I slept for, I think, 2.5 hours. That was at like 3:30 or something, and it's 6:38. So I've been awake for about 3 hours, and I still look really puffy. I feel like my face right now feels like I've been crying for hours and hours and hours. That's the best way. That's the best analogy I have, is that it feels like I've been crying. And I mean, I did. I came home and I had a big boo-hoo fest because I was in pain, and there wasn't anything I could do about it until I could confidently swallow some water because my throat had been numbed accidentally and I didn't want to choke on anything. But yeah, my nose just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and I was like, this is so annoying. I didn't think it was ever going to stop, but it finally did stop. And then I have my nose cleanser thingy that I need to do, and hopefully that'll get out anything else that's stuck in my nose. And I hope that I'll be back to making reactions like here in the next week, maybe 2. I really don't know. I don't want to sound like this while I'm doing my reactions, like, oh yay, Gabriel, he sounded so great when he did that. No, I can't do that. And I really want to, because there's so many songs of his that I need to react to too. And Morissette too. Maury's been coming out with a bunch of new ones, and Katrina. All my faves are releasing new music, and there's nothing I can do about it right now. But anyway, I think I'm just going to end this video here. I just wanted to kind of pop in and say, hey, had my procedure. Everything's okay, I guess, so far. This was a bone thing. Like, there were some people in the comments asking if I had considered other routes of curing it. This is a bone thing. This wasn't going to be cured by anything else. I swear, if I would have seen someone say, have you tried using essential oils? Don't get me started on essential oils or any other MLM product. That is just a whole other spiel. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here before I start going on another tangent. So thanks for hanging out. I might need to make a whole video where I talk about this from beginning to end. But for now, I'll make a playlist for you guys to go catch up if you either don't know what the hell I'm talking about or you forgot some stuff. Yeah, I'll put a playlist over here somewhere. And I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that is. Okay, bye.